This is a Canadian helicopter.
Yes.
By the way, I got this from, what is it? Ericsson Aviation Media on YouTube. Go check them out. So just got this footage from there. This is basically a helicopter that flies around and it can perform different roles. It's got sensors on it. Kind of like a helicopter version of the Aurora.
Can it roll?
No, I don't think it can roll.
You performed rolls, so
yeah,
do a barrel roll. You know?
Yeah, do a barrel roll. Anyway, French chef's kiss for this too, okay, because it's Canadian.
And very chubby helicopter.
And it monitors, well, it's made by the same company that makes a Black Hawk, so it's got a bit of good DNA in there, you know?
The what?
Yeah, the Black Hawk.
Oh, okay.
Black Hawk.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So anyway.
Someone else said it differently.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard a different pronunciation
yeah, I know
at
that.
some point.
Anyway, so this thing's flying around in international airspace once again, basically trying to monitor for submarines. Okay, that's what it's set up to do, this particular one, okay? And guess what happened? What do you think happened? You got something flying around in international airspace. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, if China's involved, there's some harassment.
Yes, they're going to get harassed by China. Okay, so here this thing, it flies around pretty well, by the way.
Tanner says, it's strong, Matt, not chubby.
Yes.
In China, if someone calls you strong, that means you're fat.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So anyway, this thing is flying around, doing its business, and here comes a Chinese J-11, and it fires off flares in front of the thing, okay? Now, first of all, that is really irresponsible.
You don't say.
Flares, by the way, it's a countermeasure.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're flying around, someone comes, shoots a heat-seeking missile at you, you shoot off flares, and then the heat seeker will see, oh, look, there's heat, and go and hit that instead.
Waste your missile.
Yeah. Doesn't work very well if you've ever done proper flight simulation.
Sure.
Like, you know, if you've ever done real combat, it does work, but it's like with modern stuff, not
It's like
that
last-ditch attempt, right?
You get chaff and you get flares.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so it fired off flares in front of this helicopter, okay? The J-11, by the way, is basically a Soviet Su-27, which, you know, they licensed to build. So it's a Soviet design, which the Chinese have kind of built themselves now.
That's a very polite way to say that.
Yeah, exactly. So here I recreated what happened, okay, by the magic of of very bad editing.
Okay.
I just wanted to show everyone what happened. So here's this helicopter just flying around minding its own business. Okay. Here it comes. And then this thing comes and like shoots flares in it, like in front of it, and really makes a big scene.
Okay.
Okay. So now you've seen it there, the actual footage of what may have happened. Okay.
Well, so this happened, but you didn't. There's no footage of it.
Yeah, there's no footage
so you
of
put
it.
it together. I gotcha.
So once again, the Chinese pilots being very irresponsible and harassing these Canadian surveillance craft that are flying in international airspace.
As usual.
I mean, sure, it's close to China. It's in the South China Sea.
That's par for the course.
But it's international airspace.
Yeah.
Okay, it's by law international airspace. China can fly whatever the hell they want there. No one's going to stop them. No one's going to harass them. If China wants to fly in the international airspace, it's okay. You're not seeing any other country sending up fighter jets to harass Chinese planes in that airspace.
No.
But China constantly harasses these, Canadians specifically for some reason, but also American.
Canada's like soup du jour for hate.
Yeah, they just
China.
like, China's like, hey, there's a...
If you're Canadian, do not go to China right now.
Yeah, they're like, hey, man, listen, there's a Canadian aircraft in the air. Go harass the crap out of it.
I smell syrup.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go hunting down.
It's very frustrating. They're like, you know...
They freaking hate Canada right now.
Yeah, well, not the real estate market, but...
No, but Canada in general as an entity.
Yeah, here's the thing. We don't know what the end goal of these harassments are, but we speculate that they want to kick off an international incident.
Yeah, just to see how far like the world's willing to go.
Yeah.
To gauge, I think it's to gauge response.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's a game of numbers, right?
Yeah. It's eventually there's going to be a collision because we saw last time we told you about the fact that they were like, whatever, 10 feet off the wing of an Aurora.
Yes.
And they just keep doing this.
No.
And eventually there's going to be pilot error
Yeah.
on either side, which is going to cause a collision and cause a massive international incident. And it's unnecessary.
I don't think they're trying to kick off war, but they are trying to gauge how much of a response they'll get so they know. It's all intelligence building, right?
Yeah.
You know, okay, we can push it this far. Oh, this country's not going to do shit.
Yeah,
exactly. Their buddies didn't come help them.
Yeah, that type of thing. Yeah. But it's pathetic because they can monitor these aircraft if they want from the ground or from other aircraft. They can get an AWACS up there or something and monitor it. If it crosses over into Chinese airspace, fine, fair game. but they keep harassing them in international airspace, and it's
true.
super irresponsible.
Very true.
So something probably will happen at some point. So we just wanted to keep you up to date because they keep doing this.
For sure.
We'll see who they harass next week.
Yes.
We love bad translations.
Yeah, they're always funny.
Something we'd always come across in China. I've got a bunch of photos that I took myself, you too. We've done videos about this on ADVChina, etc.
Yes.
But every once in a while, something comes along that's worth sharing. Like this. This is in a menu. And what is it exactly?
This is a dish that has like pork blood in it. And that's something you'll find, that might be a little shocking for some people. It's very common around China.
Yeah.
The important thing is that although it makes sense in Chinese, the direct translation, if you were to take each character one by one, which again is not the correct way to do anything.
Yeah, but that is the actual direct translation.
If you were to directly translate each character, this would mean the rivers and lakes are full of hair and blood. And that is very appetizing, as you can imagine.
It's one of the least appetizing names for a dish I've ever heard.
Truly, truly. Now, hold on.
Yeah.
What I do want to say is that I have a little story. When I was in China, there was an area that had a not UNESCO heritage site, but it was a big area that had like a really prominent tourist place.
Right.
And I would go around it and just be shocked because the whole idea was that this was going to cater to English-speaking foreigners and Chinese alike. Because this is a place you might visit when you're coming over the border from Hong Kong or something, right? Now you'd go around this area and the signs, instead of saying like, you know, don't swim or something, it would say like, careful floor, sit, hit head.
Yeah.
You know, it would say things like, you know, there's a falling rock area on the mountain. It would say like, rock tumble, smash you, you know, forget your family, regrets, you know, like crazy
stupid
stuff.
Things. Yeah.
So I, weirdly enough, I met one of the people responsible for putting this stuff up, right? She had gotten this job, and she was the one that explained to me that in these government positions, and we've talked about this before, but basically these government positions will hire people based on connections, or guanxi as we call it in Chinese. And they'll hire these people that there's millions and millions of people that could do a better job and speak English, but they'll hire people with these government connections, these nieces or nephews. I'll get you a cushy job.
Yeah.
And they'll sit there and they'll use the old CCP way of translating. They'll sit down with a dictionary and translate each word one by one.
Right, makes sense.
So that it's not a phrase anymore. And that's where you got, and I just wanted everyone to know, that's where you got a lot of the original kind of bad translation stuff, is that you're getting these CCP jobs where people are sitting down directly translating word by word, that's not how translation works.
Sure.
And actually, I helped her go around and we actually fixed a lot of the signage there.
That's nice.
There's a lot of my
Did you
work.
get an honory
I did
citizenship
not.
certificate?
I
know.
I
know that
not.
happens sometimes when you do that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
Anyway.
there's also another reason why a lot of these things are bad. There's a very old translation software from the 90s that gets used a lot. And a lot of the bad translations is because of that. I can't remember the name of it, but it's hilarious.
It is funny.
Anyway, let's move on from this bad translation to the next thing. Someone's gonna lose their job.
Someone is effed.
Yeah.
This was on, what's it called?
Xi's Moments. Now, for those of you who don't know, Xi Jinping seems to have his own Twitter account, which is verified.
Yes.
Well, it's a Twitter
Well,
account.
it's blue.
It's not him. Yeah, it's blue. Okay, but it's dedicated to Xi Jinping's moments.
Yeah, it's just that propaganda campaign they're doing right now.
Yes, exactly. And I remember having engaged with this a few times. Now, a couple of weeks ago, somebody who is in charge of this account tweeting out Xi's boring ass moments, which, by the way, if you ever want to fall asleep, this is a great place to go.
For sure.
They made a spelling mistake. All right? They said Xi Jinping delivered a speech at a grand gathering to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the establishment of the Shenzhen Special Economic Zone in South China's Guangdong province, blah, 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 blah. But the fact that they said Xi Jinping is hilarious.
That is just like...
Yeah.
I mean, whoever did that is in big trouble.
Huge,
and you know what's funny, though, is
trouble.
this happens a lot on state media accounts. Someone said this is a parody account. I mean, it might be.
No,
Who knows?
it's absolutely not. I've gone through it. It is proper. You know, you've seen the Xi's Moments whenever you go to like...
for sure. Like People's Daily and stuff.
Yeah, it's up there. It's always Xi's Moments. You know, this is it. This is the Twitter version.
Alban style.
Yeah, we're wearing the Laoban shirts today.
Oh, she's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, she's here. I think you should eat me first, and I'll eat you first.
That sounds terrible. If you eat the fox, then bugs won't bite you.
What?
Now, the weird thing about these Chinese vampires is the way they move around. Jumping corpse! They burn money, fake money, they burn fake houses, they burn fake cars. They create a lot of pollution, basically, for ghosts.
Yep.
She secretly urinated in the monk's bowl.
Ah, yes, as you do. It's just shocking to think you would let a baby die for like a 90-year-old woman that's already
Yeah,
lived
this
her
90-year-old
life.
woman.
And she's not even related to you.
No, dude, I'd leave her outside in the cold or something, you know? Yeah, that's kind of scary.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind